So Latrobe Financial was founded in 1952, so for almost 7 decades we've really been focused on delivering the highest quality, best service to those borrowers throughout Australia who are not well served by the large Australian banks. There is a whole cohort of borrowers who don't get that same level of service from the big banks. That might be because their credit applications are a little bit more complex and they require manual credit assessment. So that's the borrower that we would target. We fund that lending program by dealing with the banks. We have many decade-long relationships with Australian global banks, institutional warehouses if you like. We have Australia's largest, highest rated, most awarded retail credit funds, so 2.7 billion in assets under management in our retail credit fund, 35,000 investors across Australia and indeed internationally. And then of course securitisation programs too through the domestic and global debt capital markets. So those are the 3 main funding buckets by which we fund that same lending program. Latrobe's been on a real growth path over the last 5 or 10 years, and in particular over the last 5 years. As we've grown, it's become clear to us that our investors are expecting us to partner with really strong organisations across our whole suite of offerings. So some years ago we took the decision to partner with Perpetual. As an organisation that started in 1952, when we choose partners, we want to choose partners who have a long track record and a real commitment to excellence, to quality, to the highest standards of integrity. So that was first and foremost our driver in choosing partners for these types of programs that we're discussing. Perpetual was a standout in all of those categories. Obviously 120-year history, really strong credentials across the market, very well recognised by our investor base, both here domestically and also internationally. So it was a very important choice for us to make, and one that we've been very satisfied with. For over 6 decades, Latrobe Financial had run all of its custody internally. It in fact was part of our business we were very proud of, the level of service that we were providing to our end customers, our borrowers. So when we took the decision to outsource, that was a decision that we did not take lightly, and it was one where we required our partner, our outsourced partner, to be of the very highest standard. It was a big transition process conducted through 2017, obviously a portfolio at that time probably around $5 billion in assets under management, $5 billion of mortgages, so it was a very big program across our retail fund, across our securitisation program and across our institutional markets. That transition program was highly successful. We were really pleased with the responsiveness, with the level of service provided by the Perpetual team, with the assurance that they provided on each and every security packet. So it was a very good experience. It was a very good experience for us, but most importantly, it was a very good experience for our borrowers and investors, which is ultimately the most important thing. The motivation for outsourcing, there's obviously a few motivations. First and foremost, obviously, is that as we deal with larger sums, as we deal with larger, more sophisticated investors, they do have the expectation that a company, a custodian company like Perpetual be involved. So firstly, meeting the market expectations around the quality of the counterparties and the composition of our program, that was first and foremost the driver for our outsourcing program. But there are also significant business efficiencies for us too. If we have a reliable partner who can look after the security packets in their secure vault, who can attend at the right levels of service to the needs of our borrowers for access to those security packets from time to time, and then promptly discharge loans as and when those discharges come through. Obviously, that allows us to focus on growing the business and continuing to improve the efficiencies, continuing to improve the quality of the standards that we're providing to our borrowers and to our investors. So as part of our securitisation programs, obviously Perpetual is deeply involved in our investor reporting, deeply involved in the RBA reporting at all levels of our securitisation program. Obviously these external parties have the highest standards in terms of consistency, in terms of reliability, in terms of repeatability and accuracy of the data that is being provided. So it's always been absolutely critical to us that our partner, the Perpetual, deliver those standards to those investors. So again, we've been really pleased with the level of service provided.